It's welcome back, guys, or welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision here with One Entertainment, bringing you guys in our video. Today I'm talking about some comic news that has recently come out due to the recent outbreak. So if comics is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That would miss any more comic news from me moving forward. Now let's begin. Like I said, there have been recent announcements in regards to comics. We already got TV shows and movies canceled or delayed due to the current COVID-19 outbreak. However, it has now affected the comic world as well, which is kind of disappointing. So as of right now, I think it's Diamond something has, pushed back or delayed the release of comics, which is honestly not surprising. I don't know how I feel about this news. Yes, does it stink that we're not getting comics for a bit? Yes. But at the same time, for me, honestly, I'm a bit okay with it. I'm like very, very far behind on a bunch of books. So for me, it's kind of like, okay, I got some time to get caught up on books. So I'm kind of okay with it. But at the same time, yeah, it does stink. I'm also behind on a bunch of books. So I feel like this is another time where I can go online and order them and kind of get caught up with issues that I missed or back issues or just books that I haven't gotten around to reading yet. I feel like depending on how long this current outbreak lasts, I feel like I got time to just get to reading books that I haven't read yet. This does again stink, and I feel like this could potentially have a big impact on the comic industry. Now, for you got big stores due to the gaming and comics and cards and stuff like that, they're gonna survive this. However, smaller owned just family run comic businesses most likely are going to fail due to this, which is kind of scary for me because my local shop is one of those family kind of run stores. So I'm nervous if my shop will reopen after this thing is all done and over with. Because think about it, if for those ones they rent out an area, they have to pay their rent if they're not getting paid or they're not having jobs, which probably most of them is this comic running their shop. So if they don't have jobs, they might not be able to pay for the area or their shop, which means in turn they lose money. They probably won't be able to pay for it and their shop will go under, which stinks for me because I already lost one shop. This would be my second, so I don't want to have to look for another one because I don't think there's one close by me or anything like that. So that kind of stinks. Again, though, I am curious as to see what will happen here. Like I said, I think some of the bigger owned shops will most likely survive. So if you're one who has a shop that does, gaming, has cards and stuff like that, comics, I know some do video game sales there. They'll survive. Anything that does more than just comics, they'll make it through. They'll survive this because they have other things going for them, even though they're not essential workers and they're not important. They most likely, at least I think, probably have someone a head person that probably runs them instead of just the people that work there. So I'm assuming shops like that will survive. However, like I said, the family-owned shops, similar to what I said about the family-owned movie theaters, most likely won't survive. Now, there's another issue that could arise within the comic industry is regard to people going online. Now, I don't know, and I haven't actually checked this out yet, but will comics that they don't release be released online for the time being? Now, I know one of my original shops that I went to, they end up cutting sales because they said a lot of people are going online and reading books instead of going to the store and paying money. Now, if that's the case, and they do release more issues while they're on this hiatus and do it online, maybe people read it there, and what's stopping them from not doing that anymore? If you can go online instead of going out and paying money for a comic, why not just sit at your home and read it online when you get a chance? So that's one thing I'm nervous about because I feel like with everything that's going on, with all this industry regarding TV, movies, and now comics, they're finding ways to cut around areas where people don't have to leave their houses. I mean, they got direct to video movies coming out that recently dropped, a bunch of them, and they even are having, if they do this, they could cut production of comics altogether. Like I said, if they just, you can get your comics the day they come out online. I mean, yes, there are die-hard fans that will continue to read the handheld comic, but for people that aren't who want to save a buck, might just say, oh, screw it, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go to the store, buy it on and not or get it off the internet and not have to pay money out of my pocket for it. And then they save money for other things. So I think that could hurt the comic industry. Another area that could hurt the comic book industry is the difference between casual fans and the diehard comic fans. Now, when you look at it this way, the diehard fans aren't going to leave their comic shops or aren't going to forget about going to pick up their stuff because they're invested in their books. They read them every month. You got YouTubers who do reviews on them, so they're not going to forget about this. But then you got the casual fans who don't always go to their shop. They'll stop in every couple months or couple weeks, pick up what they have, look at what's been coming out, and then just, go off. So when you don't have those die-hard fans, that's going to leave an impact on the comic industry because you're not going to have that big fandom, or those fans aren't going to be there to buy those comics. They'll, not be going to the shop, not paying money, so they lose money on those comics. And that goes hand in hand with the people that may go online. I don't know what could happen here, but if you got people going online to read comics and you got people not going to their shop because they are casual fans, you lose money. The companies are going to lose money. So that could have a huge impact on the comic industry. And I think that we already have seen in the past that comics kind of go through an up and down area. Like, comics were big back in the day, and they kind of dropped off, and as of late, they kind of became more relevant again. With everything going on, though, right now, there's a possibility that they could drop off again and not be as relevant as they have been in the past. So that's one area of concern. I know, like I said, there's diehard fans that will always be into comics and always pick up their stuff. But at the same time, there could be a plateau where areas or certain books or stuff like that aren't being well received. And they're going back to the casual and, diehard fans. Casual fans might think right now, oh, the books aren't coming out. Maybe they got discontinued. They're not going on reading the news, looking at the solicitations. They might think, oh, the book stopped. It's the end of the story, whatever. So that they might think they're not going to come out with any more books. So they might stop reading the book or not go back to the book. So that could also have an impact on the comic industry. This will be very interesting to see play out moving forward within the coming months, depending on how long this outbreak goes. Because even then, think about it. The longer this thing goes, the more the casual fans forget about their books that they read. So that the longer this goes on, those books will be forgotten. There won't be as big of a sales when this is over. Stuff like that. And depending on how long this goes on, comics might not be coming out for a while. I mean, they say, yes, this will go away in the summer, but it'll come back in the fall. And you even got people who might be scared to even go back out due to everything that's going on right now. So that could even leave an impact. So if, say they bring back comics during the summer, they might even hurt sales then because people are too scared to go back out. Even when this whole thing is over and shops reopen anyway, people will be too scared to go back out. And that'll not just be for comics, that'll be for movies, that'll be going out shopping, no matter what. People are going to be scared to go back out until there's a vaccine for this outbreak. So that could have a huge impact on the comic industry, because if a lot of people aren't going out to the shops, then the shops are losing money, the books are losing money. Even if they still are being printed, they're going to lose money because people are too scared to go out of their homes. Again, I'm very curious to see how this will play out and what the future of the comic industry may look like once this whole thing is done, because there's even people talking about how this could go on till 2022. So this could, again, have a huge impact on the comic industry. And I think out of everything going on, the TV show industry, the movie industry, and the comic industry, I think comics may be the one big thing that suffers the most. Because TV shows, you can always watch reruns. People are always going to be able to remember their shows that they watch. You got reruns. And movies, that's a tricky one, because depending on the franchise, like, people aren't going to forget about the MCU. That's an area that's not going to be forgotten. But there are movies and movie franchises and, studios that people will forget about. So that could have an impact, but I think the comic industry is one that we should really pay close attention to as comic book fans, because I think this outbreak and whatever comes next could have a long-lasting effect on the comic industry. But let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Yeah, guys, those are my thoughts and opinions regarding upcoming comics being delayed during this current pandemic. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That would miss any more comic news from me moving forward. And you go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which are linked in the About section on my YouTube channel. As always, it's been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.